Hello my crafty friends, it's Andrea from Prairie Sky Paper Crafts. Today we are going to be creating with the kit that I made in our last video. So this week's theme has all been about traveling and road trips and vacations and staycations. So I've got everything that I could potentially need, minus the trimmer, in this paper pumpkin kit box. Of course, you can use whatever your heart desires. I've got some sentiments that are already cut. I've got paper that's already cut. I've got my memento ink. I've got a few markers, Wake of Stella, some ribbon, of course, adhesive. The paper that I'm going to be using is the Pansy Petal Designer Series paper. So I've also got some pieces of coordinating cardstock already cut, some gems, a stamp block that will fit the Many Mates stamp set, which I've also tucked into my box. So we're going to get started. I'm actually not going to use the Many Mates. I'm going to use the Many Messages stamp set that I've already excuse me, cut and die cut. And I've got some pieces of greenery here that I might use as well. So I'm going to show you how really quickly you can put some cards together once you've got your supplies already gathered. I've got some card bases here as well. So I'm just going to start by doing, 3 or 4 cards with the different pieces of Designer Series paper. Now, I do have some scissors tucked into my box as well. When I cut the paper, I had a 6x6 sheet. So this is 4 1/4, or actually, no, it's not. It's 4 by 5 1/4. This one is 2 inches by 5 1/4. And then this is just the 3/4 piece that's left at the bottom. So I'm going to actually start with some of the smaller pieces, and I think I'm going to use the soft succulent. For this one, I think I'm going to do a masculine card. Now, if you don't have a travel size trimmer, you can just easily and quickly fold your paper in half to get 3 by 3 strips, and then just trim straight. So I'm going to do that. And one of the things that I love, excuse me, about this paper pack is the fact that, well, all of the Designer Series paper is double-sided. So there's options. If you have one piece of paper, you have a lot of different choices. I think I'm going to do this yellow one as my final piece. All right. Okay, so now I've got my paper. I'm just going to do it basically high-low. So put one up, put one down, and I'm going to use one side for each piece. So there, leaf. I like to also just, if I'm doing an assembly line fashion, I like to have all of my pieces taped before I start. All right, so I'm going to do that. I'm actually going to do this way, I think. All right. Okay, and then, like I said, I'm just going to do high-low. So I'm going to put one up. Oops. One's going to go a little lower. I'm just eyeballing it. There's no particular rhyme or reason. I do kind of want to keep it close-ish so that I've got room for my sentiment at the bottom. And I'm going to use this piece, this line of pansy. And a little bit higher, excuse me, a little bit higher, a little bit lower. It's all good. And we'll go up. And then this last one, I'll do a little bit lower. And then I'm going to bring out my sentiments. Now, I've just reused some of the packaging that some of the things come in, the dimensionals and the bling. So really whatever you've got handy is perfectly fine for storage. As long as it really keeps it clean and dry, that's all that really matters. Oops. Actually, I think I'll do the hooray, it's your birthday, and grab my dimensionals out of the kit. And I do want to put a little bit of greenery behind it. So I'm going to grab 3 of these that I've cut out with the sprig punch. Now, I don't typically, when I get a paper pumpkin kit, I don't typically use the adhesive dots that come with it because I like to keep them for on-the-go crafting. So, oops, I missed that one. Now, the Take Your Pick tool is also small enough that it can go in your to-go kit as well. And it is super handy for picking up the gems and also peeling off the backs of the dimensionals or the little dots. There's 1, 2, and 3. Okay. So I'm going to figure out where I'm going to put my sentiment, and then I'm going to put my sprigs behind it. Actually, I think I like it here. And then I'm just going to tuck it underneath and press it down. Now, I've done these kits up when we've been traveling, just as a thank you for restaurant servers or hotel staff, or really anybody who's helped us out along our way. Oops, get that off there. And then I'm just going to add a little bit of bling and sparkle because why not? I'm going to do 1. Now, I could easily go through an entire pack of the basic rhinestones in moments. I just love them so much. Okay, so there's this guy done. I'm going to move my bling out of the way, grab a card base, and assemble. Now, I have a stamp that I put on the back of all of my cards. It's got my name and my business name as well as my Facebook page. Now, if you're selling your stamp or your cards that you create, you also need a created or a copyrighted stamp from Stampin' Up, which is available in a few of our stamp sets. And I can post those down below. So here is our first card done. I'm also going to post on my blog the supplies that I've used for this card. Or these cards. Sorry, I'm making more than one today. Okay, I'm going to do this guy. And I'll do the pansies. And again, I'm just going to do fold in half. Now, I do have my trimmer close, but I'm not using it because I want to show you that you can do this on the go, on the fly, with just a few quick and easy supplies. Okay, I'm going to use polished pink for this one. Maybe, let's see. Yeah, you know what? I do like that stripe, so I think I'm going to use that for this one as well. Now, if you wanted to, you could also cut your cardstock into different base or mat sizes. So I could do a 2 1/4 inch mat for this one. Typically when I go up in size for the matting, I like to do it by 1/4 of an inch. So I would go either, if I wanted to make a mat and have this be my background piece, I would bring it down 1/4 of an inch. Or for a piece like this, I'd measure it and then go up 1/4 of an inch. Okay, so this one I'm going to adhere flat. And then this one I'm going to pop up on dimensionals. Oops. Much quicker, much easier. All right, I absolutely love pansies. The pansies in my garden are not loving the super hot weather that we've had lately. I am really hoping that we get a good dose of rain soon. Not quite. We'll use the I'm happy to celebrate these moments with you. Dimensionals are so fast and easy to use as well, and they're really inexpensive in the catalog. All right, and then grab my bling, and I'm going to do just on the 4 corners for this one. Now, on July 25th, I'm doing a Christmas in July class. The deadline has passed to get the kit, but over on my Facebook page, and I'll also be posting the videos on YouTube for the cards that I'll be creating. So if you'd like to tune in on that day, that would be great. I do have a few games and some fun stuff planned over on my Facebook page. So if you don't already like it, pop over there. It's Prairie Sky Paper Crafts. And I'll also be doing a catalog launch in early August for the new holiday mini, as well as the celebration flyer, which will be going from August 2nd until September 30th. I just had it here, now I've misplaced it. But yeah, for every $60 that you would spend, you would get to pick one item, before tax and shipping, that is. You get to pick one item out of the celebration flyer. There's also a couple of items that are free with a purchase of $120. So if you'd like some more info about that, just comment down below and I would be happy to fill you in. And we have our second card done. I'm just going to do one more just to give you some ideas about what you can do with this kit. It's really versatile and really quick. And let's see. I think we'll do some gingham on the next one, and oops, we'll use fresh freesia. Now for this one, we're going to do a little bit of fussy cutting. If you don't know what that is, it's basically just taking your pattern paper or your stamped piece and cutting around it. If you don't have the dies, you don't have a punch, this is a way that you can get that same look. It does take a little bit of time, but honestly, for something like this, it's fairly quick and easy. So you just go around as close to the edge as you can. I prefer fussy cutting things that are a little bit more not quite so detailed. These pansies are perfect because you basically just follow a rough circle shape. I also like to just kind of cut rough and then get in a little bit more detailed this way. Okay, so it really doesn't take long at all to do this guy. Whoops. The designer series paper is also on sale until the end of July, and Pansy Petals is one of the sale pieces as well. Which one are we going to use? I think this one would suit it well. Hoping your day is full of love, laughter, and joy. I'm just going to do straight across, flat. And then what I'm going to do is grab a couple of my sprigs. I like odd numbers for stuff like this, so I'm going to grab 3 again. But this time, I'm going to adhere it directly to the back. I'm not going to use the dots. I'm just going to use my adhesive and then tuck it around. Whoops. And then layer this guy over this way. And then I'm going to grab a couple of dimensionals, probably 3 for this size. Stick it on the back. And then there we go. And of course, a little bit of bling, just to kind of tie it together. I'm just going to do random spots for this one. One over here, and then I'm going to grab the biggest gem and use it for the center of the pansy. So there you have it. I still have probably, let's see, I used 4 or 5 pieces of designer series paper. So I've got enough for another, I would say 8 cards maybe, depending on how I used it. But this is the perfect solution if you're traveling, if you want to have a kit for rainy days or too hot days. Really quick, really simple, really easy. If you have any questions, as always, please feel free to ask away. You can either send me an email or comment down below. If you would like to subscribe for my email, that link is down below as well. I send it out once a week, and it's got some links to some helpful information. And I also have a weekly project sheet that is exclusive only to my email subscribers. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have a fantastic day.